Hi everybody. We're going to look at, in this video, operators. Operators are elements in Python that allow you to perform operations on different types of values. And so there are a bunch of different kinds of operators. We're going to look specifically in this video at arithmetic operators, but we're also going to see what other types of operators are available. Here are the different types of operators that Python has. Like I said, there are arithmetic operators, which you're very used to and familiar with from math class. These are your addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, etc. You can see them listed here. There are some new ones there that you might not recognize, but we'll talk about those today. In addition to those, we have what are called relational operators. Relational operators are your comparison operators. You're used to those too. They're your less than, your greater than, your equal to, and we'll look at those in a different video. We also have brand new operators that you probably haven't seen before called logical operators and bitwise operators. And again, we'll devote a video to each of those types as well. But what we want to focus on today are the arithmetic operators. And so go ahead and open an idle window, and we're going to use the Python shell to experiment with these operators and see how they work and what they do. I've already got an idle window open, so I'm here at my Python prompt and in my shell, and I want to just try out some of these arithmetic operators. And if you can type them straight in there, a mathematical expression, hit enter, and it will evaluate that for you and give you an answer. So for instance, let's just do something simple, an addition problem, right? 6 plus 7. If we hit enter on that, we get what we'd expect, 13. Likewise, subtraction will work the same way. Now multiplication, if you look at the list of operators here, the asterisk is the multiplication operator. So that might not be familiar to you, or maybe it is, but whenever you want to do a multiplication problem, you need to use the asterisk in order to do that. So again, let's try 6 times 7, 42, okay? Just like we'd expect. You don't have to use whole numbers, you can use decimal numbers, whatever. 7.8 times 3.4, Python will automatically handle that for you, right? You might notice now the next two operators in this list are these forward slashes. The slashes are division operators. Now you want to be careful as to how you use them because they are not necessarily what you'd expect. First of all, there are two slashes on your computer keyboard. One is the forward slash, one is the backslash. You want to make sure you know the difference between the two. The backslash is above your enter key or your return key. That's not the one we're using for division. That's separate. The forward slash that we care about in this video is along with your question mark. It's right next to the shift on the far right. So that's your forward slash, that's your division operator. Let's compare this single forward slash to the double forward slash and see what they do and how they're different. Go ahead and type 9, or let's do 45 single forward slash 5, or 9, excuse me. 45 divided by 9 is 5. Notice it gives it to us as 5.0, which is kind of interesting. Do the same problem, but use a double forward slash. 45 double forward slash 9. Gives us the 5 without the decimal. That's because we're doing actually two different types of division here. The single forward slash is called a floating point division, and it will allow you to do divisions with decimal numbers. The floating point refers to the fact that the decimal point can move, and give you different decimal values. So type 46 single forward slash 9. If we hit enter there, we see 5.1 repeating, right? But if you do 46 double forward slash 9 and we perform that division, notice again we just get 5. That double forward slash is what we call integer division. And what it does is it figures out what's the greatest number of 9s that fit into 46 and then truncates any decimal left over. Okay, so that's integer division. It's just how many times can the divisor fit into the dividend. Okay, how many times can the second value fit into the first value? And you can try that with all kinds of different numbers, right? 10 double forward slash 3. Well, I know 3 times 3 is 9. No more 3's fit into 10, so this answer should give me 3. And it does, right? Whereas something like 10 single forward slash 3 would be 3 1/3, and so that's 3.333. Notice at the end of that, the last answer here, we've got a strange value. We've got a 5, okay? That's due to a round-off error. Computers aren't perfect, right? That 3.33333, we know as humans that that 3 goes forever, right? But the computer doesn't know that, and it's just doing math as far as it can. And so in floating point math, we get what's called round-off error. And so you want to watch out for that kind of thing. That can play havoc in some of your calculations. So something to watch out for. Let's look at the next operator. The next operator is this percent sign. Now you might look at that and go, oh, that gives me percents. Unfortunately, no, it doesn't. It means something totally different than percents. And I have it next to the integer division operator for a reason. They're linked. The integer division operator tells you how many times a number evenly divides into another number. The percent sign, which we call the mod operator, modulus operator, tells you the remainder when you do that division. So, for instance, we know that 10 integer divided by 3 gives us 3 as the result. We also know that that leaves a remainder of 1. So if we do 10% 3, it's going to give us back that remainder, 1. Okay? You can think of any other kind of division problem and see what you would expect. So, for instance, 20 mod is how we say that. 20 mod 7. Well, I know 7 goes into 20 twice, and that's 14 with 6 left over. So 20 mod 7 should be 6. If you hit enter, you get 6, right? And so that modulus operator is an actually really important operator. It allows us to do a lot of different things, and we're going to use it extensively in our programming. So it's one you want to really be familiar with and get a good handle on. Last operator that we want to look at in this video is the double star, right? It doesn't mean multiply twice. Actually, it kind of does. The double star is how we represent exponentiation, okay? And so you might, let's say we want to do 3 squared. We know 3 squared is 9, right? You might be tempted to use that caret because you've seen the caret used in other places for exponentiation. That's not how we do exponentiation or powers in Python. That caret actually means something totally different, and so you don't want to use it. It'll give you a wrong answer because it will give you something, just not what you'd expect. The power operator, or exponentiation, is done with a double asterisk. You just type asterisk twice, and it gives you the square of 3 in this case, right? You can do, 4 cubed, which is 64, right? All different kinds of things, but that's your exponentiation. That's not going to be something that you're familiar with, so it's something you want to practice, make sure you understand. Okay? Those are the arithmetic operators, and we'll look at the other ones in future videos. Thanks.